everyone, it's Cara here. It's Friday at 5, so here I am with another art journal page for you. I am in a bit of an abstracty mood right now, and I don't normally share these videos, but I thought, why not? So I have a bit of grey paint, which I believe is mineral from Dina Wakley, which was just spread across that page when I used it as a cleanup page. And what I've done now is added some Stabilo All pencil, just in some very, very shaky lines in that kind of cross formation on my page, and spritzed it with water to activate it. I just wanted some soft kind of background lines. Didn't really want to add any stamping to this. I kind of had a little bit of an idea of what I was going to do. So when I am kind of in my abstracty mood, processing feelings, I don't always do, a pretty page with a face or a focal point and a quote on it. I kind of go to just a bit of play, really. So I just pulled out these colours. They are paper artsy paints. I will list the colours down below. One is Shutters, I believe. I think it's Deep Sea and Cerulean. But as I said, no, not Cerulean, Caribbean Sea, maybe. I will put the exact colours in the description box for you guys if you are interested in those. So first of all, I grab the darker colour and I just paint myself 3 circles. Now, I love circles, I love dots. So it's kind of my go-to when I'm just in this kind of play mood, is to do some circles, or sometimes I'll do a bit of stamping on some tissue paper and stick all that down to give myself a base for another time. But I kind of had an idea in my head of like some, not dripping, but kind of smudged lines, I'm going to call them. So what I decided to do was to start drying my paint, the dots that you can see me popping on now in all 3 colours. And then I thought I would add water to smudge them a little bit. But what I found was I could actually just smudge them with my fingers as I was drying them, and they wouldn't be too smudgy. Is that a word? Well, anyway, it's a word now. So I'm just adding dots, and I'm always counting to make sure they're odd numbers. It's just me. I know other people do that as well. But yeah, I like things in odd numbers. So I'm just kind of making sure. First of all, I had 3 sort of nice big sizable dark ones, and then I did the 3 mediums, and then I just did in 3s little sets of those dots using that really thin paintbrush there. So as I'm drying them off, I'm thinking about how I'm going to smudge them if I dry them too much. So I test one, as you can see, and then I realise it will work. So I smudge all the little ones that I can up my page. Now, it's kind of what I was going for. I didn't really want the big ones to smudge too much, which is why I dried those. And now I decide that I'm going to do the same with the black pencil. So here I am, just smudging the last one. Now I've grabbed my Stabilo All pencil, just sharpening it to the side. Sorry about that. And then I just do some squiggly lines around every single circle. So I start with the big ones and then I do all the little ones. And then to let that magic happen, I just spritz that with some water. And you'll see how lovely and kind of runny, and yeah, look, I mean, that looks amazing. I wish it would stay like that, but it never does when you dry it. So I dab off some of the excess water just before I dry that off, and then what you'll see is, oh, sorry about the shaky table there and the in and out of focus. I am in the UK at the moment, and I've got a temporary setup, and it's not the sturdiest of holders for my camera, so sorry about that, keep going in and out of focus. Yeah, so I keep adding a little bit more black pencil where I feel I need it, as you can see, a little bit more spritz of water just to get that darkness going. And if there's any excess water like that, you can see I'm just dabbing that up with a piece of kitchen roll. And I basically do that until I'm happy with my smudges and smears, whatever you'd like to call them, to give me that sort of soft-ish look. Now I'm using the water again just to dampen up that paint and make that a bit more watery, to add myself some blue splatters. So I'm using the darker blue. As I said, I will put the proper names for the paints in the description. I think that's something like Deep Sea or something. yeah, paper artsy paint. Now I'm prepping my black Posca paint pen to add some black splatter. And that is pretty much it, I believe. I was very happy with how this turned out, and I just needed to play today. And this is, as I said, my kind of thing I tend to go to. You'll see a few in some of my flip throughs, but I don't tend to film these pages. However, I thought, why not today? Let's see if you guys like this style, you know? And we can add a few more abstracty ones to my channel if you guys do. So I will put a close-up in, but I'd love it if you could add some comments for me. You know, do you like this style? Would you like to see more? Or do you prefer the kind of, you know, more finished looking pages where, you know, you see kind of an image and a quote? I do both, so I'm happy to film whatever. But for now, I'm just going to say again, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't already, please pop over and hit that bell. You'll get notified every time I post. I post every Friday at 5 for your Friday Art Escape. And I also post every other Tuesday at 1 p.m. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.